So, censorship in the digital age is a multifaceted threat. The suppression or prohibition of speech or expression always is considered as objectionable, takes on various forms in the digital realm. So, these include government censorship, which means direct control or restriction on online content by government authorities. This can involve blocking websites, filtering search results, removing social media posts, and even prosecuting individuals for their online activities. Countries with authoritarian regimes often employ sophisticated censorship techniques to control the flow of information and thereby suppress the dissent voices. Now, I'll talk about corporate censorship. So, content moderation policies implemented by social media platforms, search engines, and other online service providers. While these policies are often intended to combat hate speech, misinformation, and other harmful content, they can also be used to suppress legitimate voices or legitimate expression or to favor certain viewpoints over others. That is biased representation of the reality which social media represents in different platforms. So, the lack of transparency and accountability in corporate content moderation practices raises concerns about potential bias and the erosion of free speech principles. Now, there is another concept called self censorship. So, this act of individuals or organizations refraining from expressing certain views or opinions due to fear of reprisal, criticism, or other negative consequences. So, self censorship can be particularly prevalent in environments where freedom of speech is restricted or where there is a strong social or socio-political pressure to conform to certain norms. Now, I'll talk about algorithmic censorship. The use of algorithms to filter, rank, or prioritize online content. So, while these algorithms can be helpful in surfacing relevant information and combating spam, they can also inadvertently or intentionally suppress certain viewpoints or amplify others' dominant discourse. So, thereby shaping public discourse or public opinion in a subtle but significant ways. So, these are the challenges for digital journalists. So, the digital journalist may face unique challenges in navigating the complex interplay between freedom of speech and censorship. They must strive to report accurately and impartially while also being mindful of the potential threat for their work or some kind of censorship or manipulation. So, some of the key challenges include online harassment and threats. So, journalists, particularly those covering controversial topics, are often subjected to online harassment, threats, and abuse. This can have a chilling effect on their reporting and leading to self censorship, means they will refrain from reporting as it happens in online platforms. Then, misinformation and disinformation. The spread of false or misleading information online poses a significant threat to public trust in journalism. So, journalists must work diligently to verify and cross verify information and thus combat the spread of misinformation while also being careful not to inadvertently amplify the harmful content. Then, platform dependence means the digital journalists increasingly rely on social media platforms and other online services to distribute their news content or their work. So, this dependence can make them vulnerable to platform censorship and algorithmic manipulation. Then I'll talk about legal and regulatory uncertainty. So, the legal and regulatory landscape surrounding online platforms is constantly evolving. Journalists must stay informed about the latest developments and be prepared to defend their right to report freely. So, the ethical considerations surrounding this debate over freedom of speech and censorship raises a number of important ethical considerations for digital journalists. The first is the public interests. Journalists have a responsibility to serve the public interest by providing accurate and reliable information. This may sometimes require them to publish information that is controversial or unpopular. Then the digital journalists also have to mitigate the harm or the threat content. Like journalists also have a responsibility to minimize harm or harmful activities, harmful posts. This may require them to refrain from publishing information that could incite violence, defamation, or other harmful consequences. Then, transparency and accountability. Journalists digital journalists also should be mindful to be transparent about their sources and methods of reporting. They should be accountable for their actions. This helps to build trust with the public and thus to ensure that they're not abusing their power or they're not abusing the digital technologies or technological algorithms. There should be a balance and fairness. Journalists should strive to present all sides of a story fairly and impartially. This helps to ensure that the public is able to make informed decision. So, striking a right balance between freedom of speech and censorship in digital journalism is a complex and ongoing challenge. There is no easy answer to this, and the appropriate approach to handle this dilemma will vary depending on the specific context. However, some general principles or guidelines can be put in place to handle this digital to handle this situation in digital platforms. First, the journalist should prioritize transparency. So the content moderation policies and algorithms should be transparent and accountable. Users should understand how these systems work and have the ability to appeal decisions that they believe are unfair. Similarly, the digital content writers or digital journalists have to promote media literacy. So, educating the public about how to critically evaluate online information is essential for combating misinformation and promoting informed discourse. Now, by way of supporting independent journalism, so this support plays a vital role in holding power accountable and providing diverse perspectives. So, supporting independent news organizations can help ensure that a wide range of voices are heard. Then, defend freedom of expression. Journalists and media organizations must be vigilant in defending freedom of expression, both online and offline. This includes challenging censorship efforts and advocating for policies that protect the right to speak freely. So, to conclude, I must say the tension between freedom of speech and censorship in digital journalism is a defining issue of our time. Navigating this complex landscape requires a commitment to ethical principles, a willingness to challenge the power structures, and a deep understanding of the evolving digital landscape or environment. So, by upholding the values of free expression and responsible journalism, we can help ensure that the internet remains a platform for open dialogue, informed debate, and the pursuit of truth. Thank you very much.